Welcome to your Sagittarius horoscopes for the week of January 7th through the 13th. Focuses on money, money, money. And we're kicking off the week with the moon's influence on our money, which is actually kind of scary because we don't want to get emotional with our money. I mean, in some cases it's okay, but too emotional with our money actually can be a bad thing. We are done with Mercury retrograde. Shadow period ends on Tuesday. We're looking at the moon being in your sign the first 3 days of the week. First day on Sunday, into Sunday evening, the moon is in opposition with Uranus, which is very much focused on self. This lineup really is forcing you to look at your relationship with your money because the moon starts off on the cusp of the house of relationships as well. So it's really like, creating or bringing up a specific situation that forces you to look at what you're doing to destroy your relationship with your money. This is really important. I think we all really need to spend time looking at this specifically for what it is. If we don't see what we're doing, we can't correct the problem. And I feel like we live in this, I almost feel like the whole world is in a Sagittarian mindset because the Sagittarian mindset is brilliant, but destroying itself at the same time. It's a constant struggle that just keeps going over and over and over again of here's my brilliance, bat it out of the way and destroy it. And this can't happen with our financial relationship, or we'll never have the money, we'll never have the security that we need, we will never be able to make the money that we need. There's just too many ramifications that are bad here in this situation. As we move into Monday, the moon moves into conjunction with Venus. Now, Venus continues to influence Sagittarius. Mercury does also for most of the week, but Venus is definitely stuck in there all week long. Venus is not necessarily lining up with any planets in a good way, bad way, or any place indifferent. It just kind of is what it is, bringing up creative ways of dealing with that relationship to your finances. Here's the deal. Another thing about Sagittarius energy is it goes against the grain. We don't want to do the same thing that Capricorns are doing that's boring. Then Venus is coming in and saying, okay, let's build a healthy relationship with our finances in a different way, in a Sagittarian way. I don't like the fact that one of the biggest things that holds us back as human beings is when we say we need to give something up. We go all or nothing. I like to look at it as using bad habits for good ways. For example, I'm a stubborn person. I've always been a stubborn person. If my stubbornness is getting in the way of my success, obviously it's not a good thing. But sometimes stubbornness does work in my favor, like being so stubborn and set in my ways that I will not change who I am in order to fit into somebody else's mold. And that's where stubbornness is actually good for me. It's helping me to stay true to who I am. So maybe let's not talk about eliminating those bad habits. Let's start talking about how can I use these habits in a good way? And therefore, you don't have to mourn the loss of it and waste all that time doing that. You can just be successful. That's what it's all about, right? Mercury is going to be in your sign. Let me see, pretty much all week long. Okay, so I lied a little bit there. Mercury's focus moves into really looking at this from a long-term standpoint. So we're not talking about just our relationship with our finances now, but what needs to change in order to have a more positive effect on our long-term financial goals. And Mercury really is all about gaining knowledge, talking to the people that know about money. This is really a time for you to be looking at final expenses, long-term finances, retirement, things like that, in order to make sure that you're starting to put the things in the right place to ensure that things are taken care of later, not just now, which is just the smart thing to do. Again, Sagittarians aren't known for being responsible, and I'm not saying that Sagittarians aren't responsible. This is the boring, have to do the day-to-day stuff that I'd rather not do. But if you use that brilliant mind and set up everything in an organized way, like Sagittarians are also really good at, you can get through it quickly and move on to having fun. And it's as simple as that. So that's what I have for you guys this week. If you love your horoscopes, do consider sending a tip or donation to my coffee link, which is there in the description of the video. Would really, really appreciate that. I'm Melissa Bruce, the Heavy Metal Psychic. I will see you guys next week. And you guys, let's take control of those finances, people, and make it a successful week. I will see you guys next week.